So since my students are 13 and 14, they're going through a lot of different changes. So I'm going to go through, like, where do I see a lot of, like, changes happening to characters? Like, where do I see things like, for example, we read a book called Inside Out and Back Again, which is about a Vietnamese refugee, a young girl who comes from Vietnam to America. So we talk a lot about immigration. We talk a lot about, like, what legal immigration looks like, what it means to be undocumented. We relate these things back in because this matters to my students. My students are highly interested in that. And so, like, because they're highly interested in it, I can sit there and take that content and be like, we need to learn how to cite evidence. We need to learn how to summarize a text. And all of these things are going to come out through this, but what matters is the content I'm choosing to use it for. So, like, if we're going to study something like the DREAM Act, I'm going to sit there and be like, let's summarize what the DREAM Act was about. Like, what did it mean to certain people? Like, why was it important? What did the legislation actually say? And then I'm going to sit there and say, like, okay, now we're going to cite evidence to say, like, would you have been for or against the DREAM Act? Why? Like, use evidence from the text that you just used. So we're practicing that skill, but we're doing it through content that matters to students.